What's up, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. And today I wanted to do something kind of like a public service announcement. I've been seeing a lot of videos about the growing zones, how they're changing. I understand that, but I want to issue some caution to you. Take it with a grain of salt. Take it with a grain of salt. The trees have been noticing the subtle changes in temperature over the last couple of years. The USDA, to be honest, seems to be really kind of like behind the ball on this one. And I'll tell you why. It's because we've been talking about that for the last few years in the gardening community, how it seems to us that the climate is changing. I'm not talking about climate change. I'm just mean like, I just mean that's how the weather has always changed. And we're getting into one of those, I guess, sweet spots in time where we're alive to experience the climate change. Here in my area, I've gone from 8B to 9A. What does that really mean? And I want to tell you, don't go start looking for these fruit trees and these plants that's supposed to grow in that new zone. Because what I want you to know is that those zones are just an average of the temperature. That's why I've been preaching about this high tunnel for the last 6 years or so. It's just an average. It does not mean that the temperatures won't drop low enough to kill everything you have. It only means that the average of, so just say if you had a temperature of 100 degrees, 100 degrees, and 0 degrees one day. The temperature, the average temperature, even though you had those 200-degree days, by having that 0, the average temperature, when you divide those three temperatures by 3, it would be like 33 degrees. That would be your average temperature, just by having that super low temperature. So what you're seeing when you're thinking, oh man, I'm in zone 10 now, I'm in zone 9 now, oh, I couldn't grow all this stuff before, I can grow it now. Don't be fooled. Don't be fooled. You need protection. You need protection, because that zone that you're in, it may be saying the lowest it's going to get is 20 to 25 on the lowest, or 30 to 35 on the lowest, and you're going to turn around and winter's going to come and you're going to get a night 18 degrees. Don't be fooled by that. Learn. It's cool to take that stuff and get a good feel for what the temperature is doing and what your yard is doing, but just know that your yard is going to have its own climate. Some people may be in zone 9, but their yard is zone 8B. Their yard might be a 8A. I always tell y'all, my neighbor across the street, God bless his soul, his yard is always at least 5 degrees hotter than mine. In the winter, I go to his house, well, I would go to his house and we would sit down to kind of warm up. Over here in the summer, it's too hot in his yard to even halfway grow stuff. But my yard is growing stuff like crazy because I got so much protection around me. I wanted to put this out, grabbing this last little bit of figs. Figs are finishing up. They're finishing up. Look at that. This one here got busted. It rained 2 days straight, so that one got a little busted up. But it also helped them swell up as well. So putting some swell on them. Don't have my chickens anymore to give these to. I want to show you something. How the only reason, this is the only citrus that we have this year out of all the citrus trees we have. And that's because these fruited late this year. They had to do it twice. The first time they fruited was when they was regularly supposed to fruit, and the freeze came and knocked all of the little baby fruitlets off. It ended up fruiting again. And I never had that happen before, but it ended up fruiting again. I'm gonna take you to the front and I'm gonna let you see something. I'm gonna walk up here to the front and I'm gonna let you see why I'm telling you, you gotta kind of grow yourself. You look at those things, the growing zones are changing, and I know a lot of people, you're gonna get happy. I'm just telling you, beware on that, because you'll stand a chance to lose a lot of money thinking, oh, now I can grow citrus. Oh, now I can grow, I don't know, mangoes, or I can grow some tropicals now. And you're gonna put that stuff in the ground and bam, winter's gonna come. You're gonna have all these warm days, and you're gonna have that 1 or 2 days the temperature's gonna drop so low, it's gonna kill everything you have. And you're gonna say to yourself, well, I'm in this zone. I'm in zone 9 now. I'm actually been pushed to a different zone where I should be able to grow these things. It's an average temperature. You're still gonna be in that zone 9A, but you just had a couple of 7A days. But because we're getting so much heat in the summer, 100, 125, 110, those high heat days is bringing your temperature up in your zone. And you're getting classified in a zone that you really might not be in. Hence, everybody's been seeing these. Everybody that got loquat trees, you've probably been seeing flowering. Sometimes it looks like this when it's actually putting on more leaves. But to be honest, they look the exact same almost. But you can tell when it's flowering because it looks a little bit different. And it starts to open up to the flowers. Let me see if I can bring you to the flowers. It starts to open up to the flowers. And you start to see a little bit of bee activity. None of this is gonna make it if I don't cover it. That's the crazy thing. None of that's gonna make it. Because not only do you have to, as the climate is changing, not only do you have to figure out what to grow and what's gonna grow and what's not gonna grow, the trees gotta figure it out. These trees are supposed to bloom in like the end of January, middle of February, because these are the first trees to give you fruit in the spring. By this thing fruiting right here, I know my fruiting zone has changed, but it's no way that we don't have a freeze coming. We're gonna have a deep freeze. We always do. We always do have those nights where we get into the teens, like 19, 20, 18, feels like temperature may be about 14. These things are gonna freeze off like it's froze off last year. If you've watched this tree used to be up this high. Every year, the freeze knocks it down. It tries to come back, the freeze knocks it down. We're all the way back down because of the last two winters. It's been knocked down to, I'm gonna say, hip height. When this thing used to be taller than me, it used to be like 7-8 feet. Now it's back down to probably about maybe 2.5 to 3 feet. I had to put this video out for those people that follow this channel. You know, I try to let you see what I'm doing. I try to let you kind of see inside of my mind on why I'm doing what I'm doing. And if it was anything I can tell you to help you out with this growing zone thing, if you're gonna bring in something different, something new, put it in a pot. If you're gonna bring something different or something new, oh, look, let me see, hold on. Oh, I was trying to see what was going on. It's a little fuzzy, but I think my neighbor must be burning some trash. If you're gonna put in something new, put in a pot where you can move it, because you're still gonna get those dips in temperatures that the plants that they're saying that zone you in, that new zone, the plants are not gonna like it. So that's my tip to you today. came outside, was thinking about that, had to share that because I've seen so many people excited about, I'm in a new growing zone. Yes, I'm in a new growing zone. I'm like, oh man, some people are going to be crying by springtime because they're going to be losing stuff left and right, thinking they can grow this new stuff that the new zones say they can grow. Just take your time, walk into it, 1 or 2 new plants, until you really get you some protection, whether that be frost cloths, blankets, high tunnel, greenhouse, some sort of protection, or wheel it inside before you really start going head over heels into these new things that you supposedly can grow in that new growing zone. Thank y'all for watching the Grow From It Network. I got more to do. See you on the next one.